Welcome to the Two and a Half Brothers podcast, where we discuss FPL views and strategy, but most importantly, our monthly league. It's going to be the usual format tonight, unfortunately, without Bob. So you're stuck with Jake and I. So we're going to review last week's scores, have a look at game week 7, any plans and issues we have there, and then take a look at the league standings for September. There is Everton West Ham game tonight, but it doesn't look like that's going to affect too much in our monthly league, at least. Evening, Jake. You okay?
Evening, Steve. Yeah, been good, thanks. Wouldn't say it's too unfortunate Bob's not here, but yeah, I'm sure we won't miss him too much.
Yeah, I felt like he was
Yeah,
chomping at the bit last week after my dismal performance. I'm not surprised that
yeah,
he's dropped off the radar, but childcare issues prevail. Cool. Should we kick off with my team to start as usual?
yeah. Let's take a look.
So Haaland obviously doing the heavy lifting for my current game week score. I am all out now. Um, there's Everton players that are quite highly owned, so I'd expect my rank to drop a little bit tonight, depending on how that game goes. I nearly didn't triple captain Haaland, given that scare about a potential back injury in the week. But Burnley's statistics are just horrible in terms of chances and shots conceded. So I decided to go with it. Obviously worked out okay in the end. It's really just the Bournemouth boys otherwise contributing to my score this week. I did bring Mbermo in on free transfer. Obviously, United
Nice.
aren't playing that well or well at all, but his numbers are still pretty good, and he's a class player. Kind of similar to Bruno in that case, I guess. I'm not really a Bruno fan. I think Mbermo is a bit more exciting. Um, it didn't look like he had a shot on the weekend, Jake. I didn't catch any of the football because I'm away at the moment. But
So,
I know he had
so
a
he
chance tonight.
he was about to take a shot. Probably would have scored had he not been clattered in the box for the penalty. But frustratingly, it's almost the second week he's been through on goal and been wiped out. But yeah, I agree with you. I think he's that one sort of bright spark in that United team.
It's cool. Obviously, with Sunderland next pre-season, you'd have said that's a kind of a banker fixture almost, but they're proving to be pretty resilient. I still
Yeah.
believe it's a good fixture for them. And then Pool behind it, again, looks difficult on paper, but obviously they're conceding goals at the moment too. Um, so pretty happy with him. I'd like to try and get some kind of consistency in my team at the moment. I think he's one of those players that can deliver some of that stability. Um, I mentioned the other week Xavi was a bit of a punt, and that hasn't kind of worked out at all. Kudus is putting up better numbers, about half XGI on the weekend. It's a bit sideways to go there, I think, and Spurs are pretty up and down. That double defence that I've got is just absolute nightmare fuel, particularly on the back of the Forest double defence that I had. Um, they've got Leeds next, but at the moment, I think I'm benching Van de Ven. But we can talk
Alright.
about that when we get to it. Um, yeah, otherwise, it still feels a little bit like
Yeah.
I'm treading water. I think that's the case for most teams. It's just a couple of players really delivering at the moment. Obviously, been pleased with that Semenyo signing on wildcard. The defenders that I've got are starting to feel quite template. At least the Senesi, Anderson, kind of gooey trio, and then pick two of your other cheapish kind of DEFCON defenders there. It's not even as though the attacking wing backs or fullbacks are doing much at the moment. So there's really no consideration elsewhere. I know that Gabriel scored on the weekend, didn't he? But I
Yeah.
don't think my rank moved that much. So he's obviously not that well owned, at least in kind of the leagues and at my rank.
No.
I think that's
Uh,
pretty much it. I was just going to touch on Isaac, who I think had zero point 0.4 XGI, depleted Chelsea coming up. Again, he's got pretty good fixtures. United, Brentford,
mm,
Villa, all look like a decent platform to get going. What I don't understand is the price rises at the moment. It feels like we're on speed run
mm,
this year, and people are trying to get ahead of ahead of any potential kind of moves. Um, I don't know whether that's just a function of so much information being out there in terms of podcasts and things like that. But we've seen it with a few players now that have had kind of double or triple price rises for no returns ahead of a run of good fixtures. Do you have any views there, Jake? Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I mean, I got Isaac in um, for this game week following TK's red card, and I saw he'd risen in price after this week as 2 pointers after not really doing too much. So yeah, I don't quite understand it. I can understand Semenyo now; he's absolutely shot up in price since the start of the season. I'm not on him, and I'm partly refusing to get him now. He's so expensive.
I had that with Chris Wood last year, and I think I bit the
Uh,
bullet around Christmas, and he continued to tick over after that point.
mm.
Um,
Yeah. Do you think Semenyo will keep delivering? Because he seems to have sort of patches, but so far he's been on
yeah,
fire.
probably not at this rate, but
Mm,
I mean, he's quite a productive player, but can be quite kind of sporadic or patchy. I kind
yeah,
of put Kudus and like Sa in those kind of brackets too, even though
yeah,
Sa's numbers were really good from last year. I nearly
yeah.
went to Sa now that I mention him instead of Mbermo.
Mm,
I just wanted to see some minutes from him, and obviously he got his goal.
yeah, yeah. Palace looked great on the weekend. I didn't see the game, but catching up on match of the day, they were phenomenal. Could have been about 3 or 4 nil up before half time had it not been for Allison. So yeah, Sarr, Mateta do look like good shouts
Yeah, I'm regretting
going
popping
forward.
Mateta on the wild card. I think the games
Yeah,
beforehand he hadn't been that lively, but I guess with
no,
Sarr that possibly helps. Um, so
yeah.
maybe I'll look to do something there this week. Um, not sure who it would be for. I'm really tempted to try and give Xavi Simmons at least one more game, but he's kind of killing me at the moment. Um,
Yeah, I don't know where you'd go. I guess Saar, right? I think they've got Everton away next week, so not a bad fixture. I don't.
no, as we see, my team looks quite well set up again, which is what you'd hope after a wild card
Hmm.
the week prior. So it would be nice to try and save an FT, but um, yeah, we'll take a look at my forward team.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks well set up, minus the double Spurs defense is a bit of a horror show, but otherwise good stuff.
Cool. Should we take a look at yours?
Yeah, let's go for it. Cool. So I'm on 73, all out. I think pretty similar to yours. Haaland triple captain. Never really had any doubts about activating it this week. Had it on since the podcast previously. It's just been an absolute beast, and as you mentioned, sort of Burnley's chances conceded are pretty horrific, especially away. I think a lot of people sort of, but backing them after watching their defense against Liverpool. But yeah, City are just a different beast.
Yeah.
Um, Haaland delivered.
Yeah, I was looking at the as alternatives like the West Ham and Wolves fixtures. Obviously, West Ham have
Hmm.
Nuno as manager now, so that's out the window. Um,
Yeah,
you're also going to be approaching kind of the thick of kind of the winter football, aren't you? Um,
yeah.
so you start to really accumulate that fatigue and those minutes. So happy to get it played, and obviously happy that it's worked for seemingly everyone in our league, and obviously you and Rob too.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to mention. I think it's he's quickly settled the Haaland and Mo debate. After owning Mo for the first 3 weeks and moving to Haaland, I'm pretty happy with
But
that.
that's
What
quite
what would
quick.
you
That's
do?
not like you, is it? You're not. You usually hold for a bit longer.
Yeah,
You did
yeah,
last year. Is that right? In,
yeah. I did
in the other
last year
direction.
exactly. So yeah, trying to rectify that this year. If a players like, there's a difference between not performing and not looking good. But Salah just didn't look good generally, which I think sort of yeah, pushed me to get Haaland in.
Yeah, I was chatting to someone about this the other day. It's quite hard to benchmark his performances towards the end of last season once they'd won the league, but it
Hmm.
is a continuation of that. It appears to me. There's still lots of talk of including him on like people's wildcard teams going forward. It just seems a really difficult thing to do for
Yeah,
14 million to me.
yeah. And even trying to sort of like, I hear people talking about planning around getting him back in and stuff. And I just don't see the appeal of it to get him back in for certain fixtures. I just don't think it's needed unless he really does pick up form. I'm not going to play around him.
No. Do you think Isaac's going to be benched this week?
Hopefully not. I, I think, like I mentioned, I
Agreed.
was forced. Yeah, I was forced to get him in, um, hoping he would return. But yeah, I think he'll start again. I think Slot called Ekatike stupid for his red card, so I don't think he's in the good books at the minute.
No, he's been fined a couple of weeks' wages, hasn't he? So hopefully that'll
Yeah,
learn him, but it doesn't sound like it will.
yeah, yeah. You never
Cool.
know.
Um,
Um,
so for the record, I
yeah,
think Bob's team is pretty similar to both of ours, isn't it? He's around the mid 70s. Just one final point or one question, just on Foden. That's a pretty spicy choice, which I think is
yeah.
is quite good. Assuming he continues to get minutes. I know he's a bit of a Pep favourite, isn't he? What prompted you to bring him in?
Yeah, so it was Gakpo sat there. I know I was just looking at my team on, what was it, Saturday morning? Just wasn't keen on Gakpo playing. I saw some rumors, well, not rumors, but some tweets that he might be benched. Didn't think he would be, but I was looking to get rid of him anyway and brought Foden in for Burnley. Gakpo was benched, so I thought I got that one right. City scored 5 goals, but Foden wasn't involved. But again, he's getting the minutes, which I think is reassuring, and he's been scoring and assisting elsewhere.
Cool. I presumably a long-term kind of hold for you.
Yeah, yeah. Presuming he keeps starting, um, and getting the minutes, I think I'll hold him. I think they've got Brentford up next, which again
Yeah,
is a
Everton,
pretty
Villa,
decent fixture.
decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So.
I'm pretty sick of tripling up, so I don't think I'll triple up on City, but I can see why you'd want like Foden or Reinders in there. There's some Doku chat, isn't he? There's some Doku chat, isn't there? But um,
Yeah,
not massively keen.
yeah.
Not massively keen.
No, he looked really, really good again. I don't know what he's had this season, but yeah, going forward, he just seems to be on it. His decisions seem to be a lot better.
Well, I heard that he's
And
been
he's getting those
practicing.
returns.
I've heard that he's been practicing kind of assisting or setting Haaland up, which is probably what you should
Really?
be doing anyway as a winger. But
Yeah, yeah. He's just been really positive, just running at his man. And he had Kyle Walker on toast. I know he's about 30 odd now, but yeah, it just seems to be a different style of play from him that we've seen previously.
he's 30, and Kyle Walker closer to 40 than he's 30.
Maybe catching up to you.
Um, cool. Anything else you wanted to touch on?
No, not really. I think you mentioned Kudos looked really good. Pedro's been a little bit lackluster recently. Again,
Yeah,
Chelsea red cards.
playing with 10 men will do that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, not much. Dewsbury Hall benched tonight, regrettably, but we'll have an eye on him, see how he's doing.
I mean, Pedro's got Liverpool next, and as we said, they're conceding chances, aren't they? I think
Yeah,
that Chelsea back line is going to be quite depleted. I think, isn't it this weekend? So a chance for Isaac to get off the mark. Um, but then Liverpool
yeah,
also been conceding chances, so could be in for a decent match.
yeah. Should be a good game. Ooh,
Cool. Should we have a look at our teams for next week then?
yeah.
Cool. So here's my team for next week. I mentioned that I'd benched Van de Ven. I just prefer those three starting centre backs. I'm sure all have some decent DEFCON potential there and reasonably good fixtures. I haven't decided on my transfer yet. Um, I'm not sure where I'd go. Possibly Xavi out, but I'm really
Mm.
tempted to try and hang on for that Leeds game um, and go from there. I do have the bench boost on at the moment. They've all just
Ooh,
got playable fixtures. So I know I mentioned that Van de Ven's on the bench, but yeah, we'll see. we'll see how that goes. I'll probably deactivate it. I think. Um, I did fancy Dubravka in that Villa game, but
Hmm.
they scored a couple on the weekend, didn't they? So
It's a spicy bench boost. Villa, Newcastle. The Leeds and Brighton's okay, but yeah, no. Looks punchy.
Villa are a turd.
Yeah, yeah. But they did look better, but don't know, maybe it's a one-off.
So I think on paper, I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, we'll see. Be nice, be nice for Bumo to get off the mark proper against Sunderland. But,
Yeah, I think he's not close from having a really good week,
no.
but it's just getting there.
So I've got a Haaland captain, but I think there's a shout for Semenyo as captain. Fulham are shipping the goals.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's so Brentford mind, and I think Semenyo is very punchy, unless you're looking for a sort of diff captain.
No, maybe we'll see how the midweek games go and all that stuff. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think it looks all right for next week. Be nice to save that transfer, but I often struggle to do that. Maybe if I save it, give Xavi that chance, and then I can
I
raise I can raise transfer easily.
yeah, I wouldn't get him out before the Leeds game. I know that they've been decent as well, but do you think it'll still be a good fixture? Good fixture on paper.
Yeah, I'm guessing the pressure must be picking up a bit on Spurs as well. They haven't been great since I
No.
since I brought three of them in. They haven't
It's
been
got a
great. But
classic FPL that. Wolves did look a bit better on the weekend as well. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's tough this year. I think all the promoted teams have been really good. See West Ham getting a new manager makes
yeah,
them
I
slightly
think that
less weak.
I think that was the view pre-season that the promoted teams. Obviously, we support Derby County. Um,
Hmm.
we thought they'd be better than last. That's a very low benchmark to be better than last year's promoted teams. Um,
Hmm.
but it feels like it's kind of come to fruition. I
Yeah.
think Sunderland's currently in the European spots, aren't they? So,
I think yeah, they're the top five or something. It's insane. I like that. Yeah.
and they've
Fair
already
play to them.
overtaken Derby's record low of 11 points, or at least matched it. Um, so I have to
Yeah.
wait another year on that one by the look of things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
sure, take a look at yours. I'm guessing it's comparable.
Yeah. Yeah, I just have one question because I've got the same player. Have you got any concerns on Pedro if he doesn't
No,
return?
they've had
Or like,
two. They've had 10 men the last couple of games. It's just
yeah,
I don't expect him to kind of be scoring week in week out at his price point. Just as
no,
long as he's getting minutes in what is a decent Chelsea team. Um, they just have had complete head losses the past couple of games. It's,
yeah,
it's just impossible to have a view.
yeah,
Still,
yeah. I
still,
guess that's still
still think he's a good
pretty.
pick. I still think they finish at kind of the business end of the table, not to be in spot one or two, but they
Mm,
they'll be up there. So
yeah. No, you look fairly well set. Interested to see if the bench boost is still active before the
I just
deadline.
realised Agbadu only got 50 minutes on the weekend, so maybe not.
Would you make any transfers to play it, or would you not? Would you
Nah,
just
it's,
turn it
it's
off?
not it's just not valuable enough
No.
to be messing around with 4.0, 4.5 million defenders. It would
No.
have to be someone that I wanted, and whilst my attack isn't really firing at the moment,
Mm,
outside of kind of Haaland, Semenyo,
yeah.
um, that's where I'll focus my efforts. I think.
Yeah, yeah, fair. Yeah, very jealous you have Semenyo. I wish I had him there, but no moves yet.
Well, he's affordable.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Should we take a look at mine?
Yeah, do it.
Okay,
Oh,
so
Dewsbury Hall starting. Disgusting.
so yeah, here's my team for next week. Raya in goal against West Ham, Spine. I've been debating getting Gabriel in for the double up. it feels like a bit of a knee jerk following him scoring, but it's more defensively sided at home to that West Ham side.
Dublin is just bad times. I can't recommend it. I think West Ham are going to be completely different as well. I'd imagine.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
Nuno is a good manager.
Maybe get Fulkrug back in.
Cool. Any other highlights
Um,
in there?
Going forward, um, Kudos, hopefully away to Leeds, should do well. Like you said, you've already got Mbeumo. I think the main concern is who to play in bench between that sort of back line. So you got Virgil, I think, potential for benching.
Oh man,
Van der Ven,
you
or play
can't
Munoz.
you can't bench Munoz over Van der Ven. That's just criminal.
Yeah,
Why
so
own it?
I
Why
think
own him?
I think I'll probably play Munoz. But I think you mentioned earlier, none of the sort of attacking wing backs have been that impressive. Um, I'm sure I'll play him. Part of this look a lot better. Now you've got Sarr back, Wharton, and Mateta looks pretty sharp. So I think Munoz will come off the bench. Um,
I'd rather
Captain
play him
Isaac,
over Dewsbury
captain
Hall, to be honest.
back four.
Well, yeah, why not?
Mm, yeah, maybe.
Foden's obviously a nice pick, as we've already touched on.
Yeah, yeah. Happy to have him. Um, Brentford's obviously battered United. I think that's more a testament of United being bad. But yeah, I think City would do well. Um,
Sure, looks good to me. But apart from Munoz, yeah, on the
yeah,
bench, looks pretty good. And I definitely
yeah,
can't recommend the double up, but that is purely based on my own experiences of it this year. Absolutely grim.
yeah, yeah. I think I'll try and roll the transfer. Ended up using two last week, so it'd be nice to keep one in the bank.
Cool.
Before another international break.
Yeah, sucks. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
it's not good times.
Well, if that's it for our team, should we have a quick look at the league?
Yeah, let's see how it's doing. Nearly the end of September.
Yeah, so as I mentioned at the top, it looks like everybody in the September league top spots triple captained Haaland. I think that was pretty well telegraphed, wasn't it, between all the podcasts and whatnot. As we said, that
Yeah.
Burnley fixture looked plum despite that injury wobble.
Mm.
So I think everybody in the top five had triple captain on Haaland. Fifth place has three Everton players to go, which is going to shake things up.
Yeah, just
So you'd
bring that
imagine
up.
he'd walk it to top spot.
Oh, look at that bench as well. Xhaka 9, 6, and 8. Would have been a good week for the bench boost.
So that's only one.
Phenomenal.
That's only one Everton player there. I think
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong fella.
there's two tied for fifth. I think. So yeah,
Oh, that would be
three
why.
three Everton is very keen, but it's obviously worked out quite well. You remember from our TikTok videos, hopefully, that we've decided to keep the prize spots the same this month at £20. Either cash or Amazon voucher for all five spots.
Okay,
Um,
that's the fella.
yeah, absolutely loves Everton. He's got to be a fan, hasn't he? He's a Liverpool fan.
Must be.
Give over.
No way. Okay.
Well, I guess
Is it a hate watch?
I
I
guess
don't
I
know.
guess it's good to put your allegiances aside in fantasy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll almost certainly go top. That could be
Yeah.
quite an exciting game, that one. Um,
Mm.
just remember
Yeah.
that we had a tiebreaker last month that was broken on the lowest owned player for the guys in fifth. So do check the website for all of the kind of rules that we've drummed up for that. It's worth being aware. Um,
Yeah. Just could have mentioned he's got Bruno on -1 as well, which is slightly painful, I imagine. Um, yeah, I'm curious if he'll still be on pens after those two misses in a row, or if we get a Bomo pen going forward.
I wonder if he's the type of player to offer it up to Mbeumo.
Maybe. I think if he offered it to anyone though, I would say Sesko, but Sesko scored last week. Yeah, maybe. If Mbomo's on pens, I think we'd be very lucky owners. But yeah,
Yeah, I know his record overall is still really good, Bruno. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, all good things come to an end. I think he'd still want to take them as club captain, but it wouldn't amaze me if he did give it up to one of the new signings.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
And probably just one final point on the league standings. First place had a return from Watkins, which I'm sure he'll be glad to have received. Done decent to hold him all the way through those fixtures. Um, any other comments there, Jake, on the league or?
No, I was gonna say, yeah, you've got great patience, more so than me, Howard Watkins, for this long, and yeah, very well, so slightly rewarded. But yeah, apart from that, nothing else really.
Cool. So we get the first game week of October, the coming game week, and then there's another international break. Unfortunately, I think we have a pretty clear run thereafter, so we can get a few more 4 or 5 game week months, which would be really good. I'm not a massive fan of these 3 week game weeks for the league. I think it shortens the horizon too much. So it'll be nice to see some longer ones. I know we've got AFCON as well coming up and that sort of thing.
Mm,
So all to play for. Quite looking forward to the Everton West Ham game. Are you going to catch that one, having just moved, or you still got boxes everywhere that need
Yeah,
unpacking?
yeah, absolutely. Watch it whilst I'm packing. Happy days, and nice to have a Monday night football game back on. Always makes Mondays slightly better. But yeah.
Well, I can't access it here unless I go out to a pub somewhere. I haven't got one of those VPN things, so yeah, it's
Okay.
either radio or go to bed early. I'm pretty
Yeah.
knackered, so I'll probably do that. Cool.
Cool.
Well, I'll say goodbye in that case. Good luck with yours and everybody else's decisions this week. If you've got any feedback, thoughts, or ideas, do get in touch via probably our TikTok channel is the easiest, and we'll have a few videos coming out over the next week, just confirming some of those changes or otherwise to our teams. Um, anything else, Jake? Happy?
No, all good. Yeah, enjoy the games tonight, and catch you in the next one.
Cool. Always a pleasure. Cheers.
Cheers.